He does not know to this day that you were also sleeping with Mr. Mitchell.
Right, Your Honor.
Was this just a one-time thing, or did it continue? Were you using protection?
No, Your Honor. We were sitting on the couch one day just talking, and he kissed me. And I told him, you know, I have a boyfriend, we can't do this. And he just kind of shrugged it off and said, okay.
So at that point, Mr. Mitchell was just your friend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Imagine finding out your fiancé might not be the father of your child. That's exactly what's happening with Miss Lohman and Mr. Mitchell. Let's start with Miss Lohman. She's hoping and praying that her fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, is the biological father of her daughter London. But here's the kicker. She wasn't exactly faithful when London was conceived. Talk about a sticky situation. Mr. Mitchell, bless his heart, says nothing would make him happier than being London's dad. But he's got doubts, big ones. And get this, if the DNA says he's not the father, the wedding next month is off. Let's break down this love triangle. Miss Lohman and Mr. Mitchell go way back to high school. They were just friends at first, but then things got complicated.
We met when we were sophomores in high school. Junior year, we had a lot of classes together, so we became really good friends. And, you know, he started opening up to me and telling me, you know, about his home life. So I went home and I spoke to my mother and my dad about it, and they were like, yeah, we'll help him. So he ended up, coming to live with us.
So your relationship started while he was living with you and your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you single at that time?
No, Your Honor, I had a boyfriend at the time.
He moves in, and then what happens?
After about 2 months of him living with me and my family, we were sitting on the couch one day just talking, and he kissed me. And I told him, you know, I have a boyfriend, we can't do this. And he just kind of shrugged it off and said, okay.
So at that point, Mr. Mitchell was just your friend?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's just a friend. He's just a friend.
Lying.
About a week after that, we were in the pool and we were swimming under the water, and he kissed me under the water, and I came up, and I didn't stop it. I let it continue, and we ended up having sex.
All right.
Mr. Mitchell's story is a real tearjerker. He came from a tough background, and Miss Lohman's family took him in.
So tell me about what you came to love about Miss Lohman.
I loved how she did stuff. I liked how she cared for me whenever I didn't have anybody that cared for me.
And she said you had a very tough childhood. Is that true, honey?
Yes, ma'am. I had to do everything for my family. I raised my 3 sisters and my brother basically by myself. It was hard.
Now here's where things get really messy. Miss Lohman admits she was sleeping with both Mr. Mitchell and her ex-boyfriend around the time London was conceived. And guess what? No protection was used.
So this relationship now turned to more than a friendship.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you're still in a relationship with this boyfriend at the time. Am I correct, Ms. Lohman?
Yes, Your Honor. He never found out, and to this day, he still doesn't know.
He does not know to this day that you were also sleeping with Mr. Mitchell.
Right, Your Honor.
Was this just a one-time thing, or did it continue?
It continued.
Were you using protection?
No, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Mitchell, do you remember finding out Ms. Lohman was pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you found that out, what were you thinking?
I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if it was mine or his.
At that point, were you all dating now, you and Ms. Lohman?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. But we were not dating at the time I told him there was a possibility. I was still with my ex at the time.
That is insane!
Fast forward to today, and we've got a 10-month-old baby girl named London, a potentially cancelled wedding hanging in the balance, and a whole load of questions. Will the DNA prove Mr. Mitchell is the father, or will Miss Lohman's ex turn out to be the baby daddy?
In the case of Lohman versus Mitchell, when it comes to 10-month-old London Leona Lohman, Mr. Mitchell, you are not the father. Miss Lohman, I can tell that was not the news you were expecting to hear. Is your ex London's biological father, or is there another possibility that we just have not spoken about yet?
No, Your Honor, there is no other possibility.
Mr. Mitchell, I'm so sorry I couldn't give you the results you wanted. You have formed a beautiful bond with the baby. I know you said this relationship was on the line. Where do we go from here?
I'm keep going. And stay her dad.
You want to still stay in her life?
Yes.
Is the ex really London's father? Or is there another player in this game that we do not know about? Will Mr. Mitchell stick around and be London's dad anyway, as he stated? Or will he walk away from it all? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember folks, always practice safe boinks.